I mean, lots of all the traditional materials you
Right.
use for making a painting, you know. And also, I am consultant. I mean, many how do you say in English, enterprises, or many yes, fabrics from oil, acrylic materials consult me, and I make also videos for them, and I talk about the products, and I really know what I'm talking about when I talk about my painting. I'm very cautious and very precise when I use something. You know, it's like I have to use it in a proper way, and because my work has to last in time. You know.
I think art is a form of expression for an artist. It is so personal, it's inspiring, thought provoking. It's like a language in itself that can be interpreted in so many different ways, and I believe can change lives. I am so in awe of all the artists that I have chatted with in this series, and I have personally learned and gained so much from each conversation. And I hope you do the same. So happy listening. Hi, everyone. Today I am in conversation with Max Pedreira. I practiced the pronunciation before we got on to the recording of the interview. I hope I got it close enough. Max is an Argentinian artist. He's partly German and partly Argentinian, and he lives in Barcelona. I read somewhere about Max that he is so inspired by music that he can't paint unless there is some blues or country rock or country blues or gospel music playing in the background. So that's really, really interesting. And I'm going to hear a lot more about that from you. But thank you so much for joining me today, Max.
Thank you. I mean, I'm going to thank you because of the invitation, and I'm very happy to be here, but to be in touch now with Zoom and to get in touch so easy and so from far away, you know, so connected.
Yeah,
So easy now.
absolutely. I think the world is become so much smaller and closer, and
Yeah.
with technology, you don't really have to be traveling to a place to
Yeah.
interview someone. You can just do it. It's not. I still feel that the personal touch is, there's something special about it when you're actually physically in one space. But I mean, no complaints. At least you get to talk to.
No, I mean, technology well used, properly used, it's a good tool, you know,
Yeah, yeah, no,
properly used.
yeah. It has to be proper.
Like
Yeah,
everything in
yeah,
life, almost.
yeah. Totally, I agree with you. But let's move away from technology, and of course, this interview is all about you. So, let's start with your personal journey, a bit about yourself, your background. I mean, I've already established that you're part German, part Argentinian, but if you could, just as an introduction, talk a little bit about yourself.
Yes, okay. I was born in Argentina, 1978, and started with my painting lessons, my inspiration, my creativity in plastic, in painting and drawing when I was 6 at a local workshop near my home in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, capital. And then I studied and painted, and I mean, I was self-taught mostly, but I always try to to influence myself with the great masters such as Klimt or Egon Schiele, Lucian Freud, Otto Dix, all the German in expressionism, post-expressionism. It's my big influence. Also impressionism, Toulouse-Lautrec, and many others are my great inspirations, and you can see them in my paintings as well.
So your, like I mentioned, music is a very important component in your life.
Yes.
So why art and, not music? I mean, why did you choose one over the other?
I didn't choose. I believe it chose me because I started with painting, and then when I was 14, I wanted to be a drummer. And
Okay.
then I said, no, maybe guitar. And then I started playing guitar. I started studying guitar, and I started doing both things at the same time. And when I was 16, 17, 18, I started, when I was 18, I started selling my drawings. I was drawing a lot about blues musicians, Johnny Winter, BB King. I made a lot of drawings and paintings. And one trip with my family to New Orleans took me there, and I found a whole new world with my music and my painting there. And I stayed almost a year in New Orleans, and I worked with galleries. I sold a lot of paintings, and I played on the streets and on bars. Everything was together. When I came back to Argentina, I said, okay, why do you have to choose? I had I believe I have my heart in my painting a little bit more.
Mm,
I nowadays I, I, I used to play and to study and to practice guitar for 8, 10 hours a day, and then now I play half hour and I get bored. And with my painting, no, I can paint whole day.
yeah.
But I have to listen to my blues, to my country, to my rock music, to my influence, and find new groups, new rock groups and blues groups constantly to feed my creation, my painting.
Yeah, so tell me a little more about the medium of that you use, because you mentioned plastic and
Okay, okay, yes. In Argentina, in Spanish, it's called artista plástico, which is an artist, a painting and drawer. But when I say when I talk about my mixed media, it's oil, acrylic, um, uh, chalk, bueno, I mean, lots of all the traditional materials you
right,
use for
right.
making a painting, And also, I am consultant. I mean, many how do you say in English, enterprises, or many yes, fabrics from oil, acrylic uh, materials consult me, and I make also videos for them, and I talk about the products, and I really know what I'm talking about when I talk about my painting. I'm very cautious and very precise when I use uh, something. It's like I have to use it in a proper way, and because my work has to last in time, has
Yeah.
to.
How important so you've already mentioned what your influences are, when it comes to your art. How important do you think is travel as an inspiration towards your art for you personally?
Oof, I think that's one of the most important keys for inspiration. I mean, you can't stay in one place.
Mm,
Story told us that many artists, great big masters, stayed in one place and didn't have to travel around the world to get inspirations. I mean, inspiration is yourself, but what you get from when you travel, it's it's richer as well. It's difficult to explain, because when I lived in New Orleans, I felt like the society was very influenced a lot in my painting. Then I moved for a couple some months to Germany with my family and with my wife and my daughter, and also I opened an atelier there and studio, and all the influence and the inspiration from that particular area was very important as well. And the job that I had there to create for a enterprise, I had to make some paintings, and then I moved back to Argentina, and I travel every year to Germany, and then I moved here to Spain, and all what I had to do here. To start creating again, it's inspiration, and every place has uh, um, his
Its
how you
own,
say it?
every place has its own uniqueness that you can actually
Exactly.
get inspired by.
My paintings travel more around the world
More
than my.
than you do. Yeah, that has to change. Is there any, you know, I mean, you've done so much art, and you've painted on different mediums, and you've created so much. Is there any one creation that you can think of? It may be a hard question to answer because it's very hard to, when you've created, it's very hard to pinpoint and say, okay, it's this one creation. But
Yes, I have.
a life experience that you may have had that actually inspired you to create that one piece of art. Can you
Yes, I
think
mean,
of?
yes, I have one. I can send it to you to WhatsApp, and you can put it there on the video if you want. It's a painting which is a couple, a man and a woman playing chess,
Okay.
and it came somehow inspired, and somehow came like inspiration comes where you don't know from where, but comes maybe from a personal family troubles and difficulties and my life. I mean, all artists paint what when they try to be more eccentric or more creative or more, it doesn't work that way. You find some, for example, Lucian Freud. He painted what he had in the atelier, and it's your life that gets involved in your art. That's the key. You don't
Mm,
have to look outside. It's
mm,
there. You lift it. You have you ride on the bike every year to your studio, and maybe a painting, it's you riding on a bike, a person riding on a bike,
mm,
and it's like that. It's and the way you put it in the painting, and the way you use the colors, and the way you make the treatment from the painting, it becomes what it is. And that painting from the chess play, it's very particular, and it's like a very important stage in my life. It's like a break. It's like two different parts and a jump. And not only that one, but there were many paintings from different parts of my life where I had to jump from a cliff,
yeah, yeah,
a new world.
yeah,
Maybe it's a small jump, but you don't know what's going to be there, if
yeah,
the swimming pool is empty or it is full of water.
yeah. So
That's the
it's
challenge.
yeah, yeah. So it's different stages of your life, give you different ways of approaching your art, right?
Yes.
So yeah,
That's the way it works. I mean,
that's the way it works. Yeah, I guess then it comes from within. It's
mm,
like you're bearing your soul
yes.
when you put that, whatever is within you, when you put it on canvas.
Yes, and also it's very hard. I mean, it's very strong what I'm going to say, but you have to make somehow a deal with someone, with the devil or wherever, like crossroads, because art gives you everything, but it asks from you everything:
Mm.
time, devotion, everything. It's
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay, so I just wanted to ask you, how you know, do you believe personally that art has the ability to transform lives?
I believe that's interesting. When I read that question when you sent it in my in my mail, I found it very interesting, that question, and I believe everyone can change from a bit, from a little bit, in small steps. You can change everything, but personally, in society, what I'm thinking now with when I paint, when the result from the painting is there and you can see it, what the people say about my painting is that it gives them something that they cannot stop watching the painting, and whether it's nice or bad. I mean, not everything can be nice, not everything can be good and bad. I mean, all sensations, all everything you feel in life, it's important for you, whether you realize it now or not, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But many people tell me, your painting makes me happy, or your painting makes me question myself, or makes me sad, or whatever, you know. One sad, no, no, I think no one said it makes me sad. It makes me somehow something, you know, and
Mm.
I think that's important. That's changing. That's a movement in people, you know. People want. I mean, I say it because it happens, you know. When clients come to my studio, or just new clients come to buy a new painting, or looking what I'm having now, what I'm painting now, and what I am involved. They say I want to have a painting of you, and when they start watching the painting, you know, and they say it's very strong, it's a very deep message you have there, but it's somehow with the color it becomes not so tragic, you know.
Mm.
My
Yeah.
messages are very strong, very, and some personages are very uh, strong. Yes, very
Impactful, very impactful.
impact, with very impact. But with the color, you try to make it not so hard. You know.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think about art fairs and how
Mm.
important do you think they are for you as an artist? Um,
I believe to show yourself, to show your art, it's important. Just that, it's important. You can do it wherever you want, and at the museum, at the fair, in buildings, in hotels. I mean, you choose it, you name it. And I think art fairs are important, but what the artist should, how do you say that? I have to be very careful when I say that, because I work with, I participate with art fairs constantly, and I would like to see more confidence from the artist. You know, not to be so. Oh yes, yes. You want to. I want to have a to show my paintings in your art fair. Please, whatever you want, I pay. No, no, it's not that way. You know, you are the artist, and they should. I
Respect
mean,
that.
I
Yeah.
have all my respect you as an artist, and give you the value you need, you deserve. You know, I mean, all my representations in Mexico, here in Spain, in the new representation in USA, all the places where I work, where I work, and when I have to now a confidence, and we have a relationship from many years, and in Argentina with my partner, and so on. Uh, those people I chose, and those people valorate my work, and with those people I like to work. You know, but new people that comes and try to make your rules, try to make, I mean, not my rules. It's common sense, you know. They don't. Sometimes I don't make a generality from everything, you know. But sometimes people who want to make to start working with your art and showing you into fairs or galleries or whatever, uh, try to have to make everything for their own, to have everything for their own, and but you paint, yeah, but without me, you are nothing.
Well said.
It's
Yeah, so Max, some of your forthcoming projects that you would like to just briefly mention?
I have now, I'm working, this is a whole year of investment in my project with the new representation with comics. I opened a new area with my art and comics involved. It's very interesting. And I'm working very, very strong with a representative here in Sitges. And we are working together a lot, and that's one of the main projects. And then I have a new exhibition about masks, about my interpretation of all sorts of masks around the world, tribes masks, and my interpretation in paintings.
Okay, that's interesting.
Argentina masks, and from Asia, from Africa, and my interpretation. I have a big exhibition in Mallorca.
Ooh,
On
nice.
the 16th of February, and then yes, now starts arranging the whole year. I have exhibition in London, exhibition in Germany, in maybe this year also in Seoul, in Korea, South Korea.
Nice.
And also in the States, I have some projects in Mexico. Well, I have lot of work to do for this coming year.
Yeah, the year is like very
every year.
Every year is like that.
If you don't have anything to do, you paint and you start making new projects. Projects don't come. You search for them.
The positive feedback that you get for your creativity is so important to you, and I think that's like a fabulous way of thinking, and such a positive way of thinking. And I really appreciate this conversation that I've had with you, Max.
It's my pleasure. It's always great. I mean, also for the new generations, try to get involved with what is manual, because nowadays you have everything. You can paint, you can do it whatever you want with a computer, and it becomes good results. But the pleasure or the passion to grab an easel in your hand, or on paint, or maybe paint with the hands, and that pleasure, there's no computer which can give you that.
Yeah, there's no substitute.
No artificial intelligence which can give you that.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much. I wish you all the very best for the coming year and years to come.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking forward to seeing you soon in Spain.
Of course.
For more weekly conversations, do listen to Melting Pot on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Follow us on YouTube and on Instagram at Podcast Melting Pot. So until the next episode, this is Payla signing off.